Hi, William Tramp, also known as this FNGM here. With Zweihänder Reforged now on Kickstarter, I thought it might be useful to create a survivor and go through the process on camera so that others may be able to get a feel for what this is like in the game. But in creating that video, something hit me. Character building is a lot more fun when you do so with your friends. So after hours of editing, graphic generation, and reshooting, I decided to scrap my whole original idea and gather my regular Tuesday night crew to make our survivors together. And we had a blast. So presented to you today is this video, an explanation of the steps one would take to create a survivor in Zweihänder Reforged, but through the lens of 5 goofballs who just love playing tabletop role-playing games. But before we get started here, I should mention, World of Game Design, who owns the rights to Zweihänder after purchasing the IP from Daniel Fox in 2023, has paid me to make this video. That's fine by me, because there is no way I wasn't already going to talk about a project that I contributed to. That's right, my name is on the Kickstarter. I am now a professional writer. Okay, with that stated, let's go ahead and take a look at the process for creating a survivor in Zweihänder Reforged. Before we get started jumping into the character creation process, I think it may be useful to introduce to you the cast of characters for tonight. We'll go ahead and start with you, Sarah.
I am Sarah.
Hi, I am Rich McGhee.
Hi, I'm Colin. You may know me from Basements and Besties.
Hello, I am Ian Johnson. I'm actually also from Basements and Besties, but in a different shattered timeline. There was an incursion, and unfortunately I had to take refuge in this reality.
Now, even though Zweihänder provides us the rules for gameplay, and I, as the game master, will provide the world in which the players play, we did decide that it may be important for us to go through the 9 truths when making the characters. The 9 truths are provided in the rulebook to help you get into the right mindset for making a character in this grim and perilous game. If you want to go ahead and start off with number 1 for me.
Sure. In the world you know, it is a time in which humanity abounds. Retribution and violence are hallmarks of the world you live in. The stench of venality wafts from every cobbled street and gloomy hillside. You know little of the place beyond where you were raised, but have grown accustomed to this harsh reality.
Elves and other ancestries of the Dawn Age are mostly extinct. Collectively, these folk are called the Forgotten. Their species come from civilizations that fell long ago and are more extraordinary than humans. The Forgotten, who have only recently resurfaced, seek a place to belong. These outcasts should make great allies if you can earn their trust. Your survivor may even be one of the Forgotten ancestries too.
Cultural identity binds communities together as feudal bastions against the unknown. However, these ties can also construct walls between groups or sow discord from within. Prejudice sometimes manifests between the haves and the have-nots. In your case, it is related to the envy of your betters, or the envy of you.
You pay healthy respect to superstitions and the gods, but fear their influence over the future. The 3 principal gods of humanity are the learner, the martyr, and the steward. Some pray for guidance from the custodian, a dying god who stands at the thresholds of the Well of Souls. They even beseech forbidden gods, like the Crouching One, for vengeance. But all recognize the Night Father's influence over fortune and misfortune. It is the wiser to heed the gods rather than to deny their influence.
You accept that the delicate equilibrium of black bile, yellow bile, blood, and phlegm forms the cornerstones of medicine. To address disease, it is customary to partake in peculiar potions, engage in bizarre rituals, and give homage to rustic barber surgeons who are treated well as the village parson. You pay tithe to these surgeons to treat your maladies and wounds, spiritual or otherwise.
You know that people who practice the higher mysteries of magic have either negotiated part of their soul with a godhead or stolen their power. The interwoven threads of the ethereal veil keep unfettered magic from seeping into the living world. If you practice magic, your spells must be hidden from the naive as they fear it, and from other sorcerers who seek to steal its secrets from you.
Whether young or old, human or elf, a peasant or a sellsword, you had spent years in your profession. Your life, shaped by your upbringing, has been relatively conventional. Staying close to your birthplace, you've established strong connections within the community where your skills and trade thrive. but something terrible happened in your recent past.
You faced your doom and died, but somehow reawoke 3 days later, and a new path has been laid before you. This extraordinary experience has pulled you away from the life and community you knew and set you down a newer, darker path. You have found other survivors who also faced a near-death experience. Drawn together as a bulwark against the world's cruelty, your stories will be filled with discovery, pain, and catharsis.
As you embark on this new journey, you will be put into situations challenging your morals and beliefs. Will you rage against the dying of the light as the glimmer of hope? Will you struggle in the morose of compromise? Or will you simply embrace these dark times for opportunistic ends, profiting and building a legacy from the suffering of those less clever or fortunate? The answer is not simple, but it defines what it means to be a survivor.
And those are the 9 truths of Zweihänder. Now, to interject here, there's a lot of different ways to make characters in any tabletop RPG, and in Zweihänder, it's no different. The players could have poured through the rulebook and found all the special combinations that they really wanted for gameplay. But we thought it would be a lot more fun to use the random generation method provided by the rule set, and I think we had a lot more fun as a result. So if you notice that we're rolling a lot while going through these character options, that's because we've decided to go the path of random. We can't decide what happened to our characters' lives before this moment, but we can make the decisions moving forward when gameplay actually begins. That's sort of the idea of it. Rather than using levels, Zweihänder has different tiers of play, right? So 3 tiers of play. You're either in the basic tier, intermediate tier, or advanced tier. Our characters are going to be starting off as basic tier characters. So what we're going to want to do is on the character sheet, we should be able to see an area that lets us write what our tier is, and we're going to be writing in the basic tier. Let's go ahead and start looking at our ancestry. So the ancestry is going to be a D100. Now D100, remember, you'll have your percentile dice, you'll have your one-side dice, you roll, and then we will figure this out. The idea here is you can either choose human, or you can roll a D100 to determine one of the forgotten ancestries.
So, does make sense.
Roll your numbers. Roll your numbers there. And Sarah, we'll go ahead and go with you. What did you roll?
89.
89. Okay, wonderful. Your ancestry is going to be the Vargir. Rich, what'd you get?
56.
56. You are a Saurian. What did you get, Ian?
I got an 80.
80. You are an Ubasti.
77.
77. You are a Tattertail. Along with our ancestry, we also get an ancestral talent. And this is going to be a randomly rolled ability. So I'm a human, which is the first ancestry here. So I got a 26. I have the ability of Daring Do. Whenever I roll a critical success with a D100 in a fight scene, I gain 1 extra action during that turn.
That sounds good, I assume.
It
Yeah,
is very
not knowing
good.
much about the system.
Pretty low.
Always good to be able to do more things.
Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and write Daring Do. On the back, there's a box for talents. I'm going to write
okay.
Daring Do. Next, we have, let's see here, we have Saurian. Saurian. You're a lizard man. Yeah, heck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
So what did you roll for your ancestral ability? What number did you get?
I got a 46.
You got a 46. You gained the ability Liquid Poise. Liquid Poise. What this means is, usually initiative is based on your perception bonus. The Saurian with Liquid Poise can use either agility or their perception for their initiative modifier. Also, when you are in a fight scene, you cannot be grabbed.
Oh, cool.
You're just so moist.
I like
It looked
that.
like
I like
one
that.
of your really high numbers was in one of those skills there, Rich. It looks like you were excited about that.
Next, we've got Tattertail. I believe that was you there, right?
It's me. I got an 85.
85. Okay, you have the ability of Upper Crust. When it comes to determining your damage threshold, you can either use your Brawn bonus as normal, or you can use your Fellowship bonus to determine your damage thresholds. And you are also immune to the Taunt fight action.
Oh.
So it's like you could be so charismatic that people just don't swing as hard at you. Yeah, so that's interesting. I like that. Yeah, upper crust.
I think that means you don't have a tail.
Sticks and stones could break my bones.
But my words will cause you not to hurt me. All right, the Ubasti.
Ubasti!
Ubasti!
Hey, Basti!
You're a cat person.
Hell
Did you
yeah.
did you force that roll? You have to
No.
You have to tell us.
No.
Go ahead. What did you roll for your special ancestral trait?
I got a big old 3, baby.
3. Ooh, bad luck. Bad luck.
Oh no.
That's the ancestral trait. No, this is
What
great.
is
Oh, it's the ancestral
This is
trait.
actually fantastic. Foes cannot spend misfortune coins to re-roll skill tests against you. So if the game master tries to swing at you and then wants to re-roll their roll to see if they can hit you better, or maybe they miss and they want to try to hit, they can't because they have bad luck around you.
You exude bad luck.
All right, and last but not least, we have the
9 lives, baby.
Vargur.
The Vargur.
You're a wolf person.
Hey!
Hey! All right, what ancestral talent did you roll?
I rolled a 49.
You rolled a 49. Lick your wounds. Once a fight, you can spend a fortune coin to move 3 steps up the damage or peril condition track.
Woo!
Something to know about Zweihänder, healing is
It's
difficult.
hard.
It's hard. It's difficult. You don't have clerics that can just like keep throwing healing spells your way.
Yeah.
It's like you're lucky if you get to go up 1 step up the damage condition track. She gets to just spend a fortune coin and go 3 steps up every fight scene. So any combat, she can go heal back 3.
Huge.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it
That's
is.
freaking huge.
I want to say lick your wounds is also thematic for a dog person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really glad that wounds was the way that the name of that talent is.
I have a question about the ancestral gifts. Is it a different list of gifts for each ancestry, or is it
Each
all off the
each
same
ancestry
hand?
has their own list.
Okay.
And it
Wow,
has
that's
their-
crazy.
Yeah, it's completely random. So it's so you can play the same characters over and over and over again, like the same kind of profession ancestry combination, and still have completely different characters based even on that alone. So I think that's wonderful. All right, step 3, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at we're gonna roll randomly for our appearance. We're gonna take a look at
boy.
our stature, our build, our distinguishing marks. For stature, I got a 75. I am tall.
I got 59.
You are average. Colin, what'd you get?
50.
50. You are average.
38.
38. You're also average.
92.
92. You're tall.
I'm tall.
Okay. Roll build. Roll build. Oh, I got a 99.
Whoa.
I'm so stout. Sarah, what'd you get?
43.
You are average. Rich.
20.
20. No, I'm sorry. You're frail. Colin, what'd you get?
12.
Frail.
Yeah.
All right, and then Ian, what'd you get?
I got 100.
You are stout. Distinguishing mark. What makes us look? What catches people's? What about us catches people's attention?
51.
51. Rich, you have a metal plate in your skull that bulges out at times. Colin, what'd you get?
95.
95. Colin, you have unusually bright, captivating eyes that twinkle.
Wow.
Sarah, what'd you grab?
I got a 54.
54. Sarah, you have a noticeable limp from an old war wound. Ian, what'd you grab?
81.
81. You have streaks of colored hair that draws others to touch it.
Do not pet the cat. His build is so stout.
I have eyes that change color in the dark.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Not that we
How
can
can you tell?
Yeah, I'm gonna assume glowing is an option. Here's where it's gonna get really interesting, because we also randomly roll our social class. I'm a commoner.
76.
76, you are also a commoner.
Damn it.
105.
105. That can't do.
63.
63, commoner.
Hey.
18.
18, lowborn.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
27.
27, you are also lowborn. If you got lowborn, you start off with 11 silver. If you got commoner, you start off with 22 silver.
I'm just gonna assume that most of my material wealth is in like real estate or something.
I may not be an aristocrat. I may not be an aristocrat.
It's
but I am an aristocrat.
next we're going to be taking a look at the primary attributes. Primary attributes, they are the ability scores of Zweihänder. We have 7 different primary attributes. You've got agility, you've got, which is speed and dexterity and such. You've got brawn, which is durability, endurance, and physical prowess. Combat, your ability to fight. Fellowship, which is basically your charisma. Intelligence, your ability to reason and learn. Perception, your senses, and then willpower, which is your mental resolve, and also ability for magic. So we stereotypically we would either randomize this, we would do a point buy, or we would do a standard array. I think it'd be a lot more fun if we do this as random as possible.
Yes.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna generate 7 values, and then we're gonna put them where we want. But here's the thing. Our profession will be decided randomly later. So we're going to assign these attributes, and then we're going to find out what our profession is. It's going to be great. So here's the way we do this randomly. We're going to take percentile dice, 2d10 or 2d10 really. You're going to roll 2d10, you're going to add those 2 values together and add 30. Okay? So for instance, if you roll a 9 and an 8, you add those together, that's 17. Add 30, you end up with a 47%.
Okay.
So, and where you write these in when you're ready to is there's this section right here under called primary attributes. You write them in this area right here.
Come on, baby. That's a good one.
So 50 is the cap.
50 is the cap. That is correct.
I'm rolling.
All right, I
rolling
got
junk.
2 good.
Oh, that's so good. There's the one I wanted.
Oh, man.
All right, let's hope. I just did mine down the line.
I did
so
too.
hoping for spellcaster.
Yep. I did mine down the line. Ooh, baby.
Yeah, what's a good profession for a really high perception person that's very average in everything else?
Whew. Peasant? No, I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll see. Yeah.
Sure will.
Next, we're going to talk about our upbringing. Okay?
Oh.
Our upbringing. Our upbringing will determine not only determine kind of like how we were raised, right, in our backstories, but it will also give us a primary attribute adjustment, as well as some potentially some starting armor, and which will affect our damage threshold modifier, which is our ability to soak up damage. Ian,
Yes.
what did you get?
I got a 54.
You had an industrious upbringing. This gives you a plus 5% bonus to your brawn. Cullen, what did you get?
I got an 84.
84. You had an opportunistic upbringing.
Okay.
This raises your perception by 5%. Rich, what'd you get?
87.
87. You had a reverent upbringing.
Oh.
This gives you a plus 5% bonus to willpower. Sarah, what'd you grab?
11.
11. You had an academic lifestyle.
Smart.
You were raised to be an avid reader.
Dog can read.
Yeah, put in puppy boot camp.
Martha
You get a
States,
plus
folks.
5 bonus to your intelligence. I had a cultured upbringing, which raises my fellowship bonus by 5%. Profession is like the hallmark of the entire game.
Okay.
This is what you do.
It's a big deal.
Okay. So this one's odd, so I'm gonna explain how this is gonna work.
Okay.
You're gonna roll a D100 3 times. Okay. This will 3 times to generate 3 different professions, and you'll choose the one that you think fits the best for the kind of fits mostly in line with like kind of what you see for this character. Now, your background, your upbringing. Hold on, your upbringing determines which table, because I want to say I don't know, don't quote me on this number, but there's like 100 professions.
Yeah.
Okay, 100 different character
rolling
classes,
the D100.
and your upbringing determines which table you roll on for basic tier.
Makes sense.
Now, when you enter intermediate tier, you then get to choose whatever profession you want. As you move into the next one, you can choose whatever you want, and then as you move into the next, you get to choose whatever you want. But your upbringing determines your first. Okay, so I believe, Sarah, you had the academic profession. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll. All of us are going to roll 3 times. So, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to give you 3 options from the list. And if you want me to give you a quicker explanation of it, I certainly can. But Sarah, you're going to be academic, so let's go ahead and see what 3 you get.
I got a 22.
22, so an arbiter.
And then an 89.
89, a theologian. A theologian, by the way, is a spellcaster.
An 8.
You could be a antiquarian.
I want that one.
You want the antiquarian? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go to Rich. Rich, so you had a what type of background?
Reverend.
Reverend, all right.
7
You could be an apostle.
and 37
You could be a friar.
and 20.
Or you could be a chosen. And a chosen is a spellcaster.
That sounds so fancy. So I am literally that character that's like, hey, God has a message. And it's like, oh, what's the message? It's like, I'm here to deliver that.
Yeah, I am that message.
I'm the message. I'm going to go with the chosen.
Colin,
Yeah.
what was your upbringing again?
Opportunistic.
Opportunistic. All right, so go ahead. What was your first roll?
67.
67. Quicksalver. Or I'm sorry. I said that wrong. Quacksalver.
Oh, wow.
Quacksalver.
So much more interesting. That was a terrible mistake to make, Will.
Yeah. Okay, next number.
Quicksalver, am I?
46.
Quacksalver.
46.
46.
Fugitive. Yeah.
And then 60 was my last one.
60. Jester.
Not doing that one.
Can I say something that I feel like that fits with
Yeah.
that weird...
fits with the character that has been created
Yeah.
so far. Like, I'm coming around on Jester. I think that's what I'll do.
Sounds
Can
good.
you wear some
Wonderful.
bells?
Ian, we're going to move to Ian real quick.
My upbringing was industrious.
Industrious. Okay, go ahead and tell me what your first roll
My
was.
first roll was a 2.
A 2. You could be an animal tamer.
My second roll was a 77.
77. Sailor.
And my third was 42.
Gamekeeper.
Yeah, I'm going to go with sailor.
So you
Yeah.
can smell
Yeah.
the salt spray right
Yeah.
now,
I'm going to go
right?
with sailor.
Well, I have a cultured upbringing. A camp follower. A valet. Or I could be a cadet. Valet.
Yes, the
Yeah,
valet.
absolutely
Yeah.
valet. Now we have to actually, we're going to unlock all of our professional abilities. So first we're going to get our skills. I should tell you all your professional abilities, or your professional talent. This is the thing your profession can do. That makes you, well, one of the things that your profession can do, basically it's the unique thing your profession can do that makes you special. Okay, antiquarian. Bookworm. Chosen, this one's interesting. Spiritual defense. Jester.
Yes.
Let's see what the jester got. Banter and jive. We then are going to move to Ian, who is a sailor. Batten down the hatches. I gained an ability called poison posture. After spending time learning about our characters, it was time to take a break and do some math. Our next steps were to get our derived secondary attributes, then calculate our damage and peril thresholds, followed by calculating our initiative and figuring out our movement rate. We also figured out our age during this process. Now, after this section, we then moved on to a major aspect of Zweihänder Reforged, our brush with death.
Ooh.
This is the thing that made us who we are, why we became a survivor. Ian, what'd you get?
I got an 80.
80. The haunting aria of a troupe... The haunting aria of a troupe of actors drew you into a grim tour of their theater. Colin.
97.
97. While mesmerized by the flames of a campfire, you were robbed by highwaymen and left for dead. Rich, what'd you get?
24.
24. I'm sorry, hold on. An old trunk beckoned, and upon opening it, it swallowed you into its emptiness.
I knew that was going to happen.
Mine's weird. You guys want to hear mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Upon robbing a crypt, its guardian spirit marked me as its successor. Sarah, what'd you get?
63.
63. You told them everything you knew, but they still pushed your bound and weighted body from the ship. Now, though we persevered in the wake of death, we were left with a scar. Okay? This is a physical impairment, an emotional trauma, or a spiritual wound. This is like a flaw that your character has as a result of this brush with death. Oh, I have the King's disease. I'm sorry, Colin, what did you get?
66.
But you have an old war wound. Rich, what'd you get?
I got a 31.
31. You're hard of hearing.
Fuck yeah, I am.
All right, Sarah, what'd you get?
72.
72. Phantom limb. You're missing a limb.
Oh.
Select one limb you don't have anymore. Ian, we come to you.
53.
53. Nothing. You're perfectly fine. No.
You fool!
53.
It says here you have a huge. No.
Oh, I hate this one so much.
Oh.
I have this one in the other game. Melancholic temperament.
Oh man.
Step number 14,
that?
which is the memento. Okay, so the idea is that you're going to take an idea from your character's death, all right? And you've taken some sort of tool along with you, right? Some sort of memento of this. And whenever you hold it in a similar situation, you ignore the peril condition track. So the idea is that we just come up with a memento from that.
Okay.
When you say in a similar situation, do you mean my character is getting eaten by a trunk again?
Right?
It could happen. It's happened once.
That's pretty specific.
Or is it just anytime you open a trunk
Or see
Am I
or
in
see a
danger?
Or maybe
room?
someone's trying to push you into a trunk, like to conceal
I feel
you.
like a lot of Zweihänder seems to be, it's not necessarily game master dependent, but it's really more of, can the player make a justification? Like, do you really feel that the situation is similar to whatever you kind of crafted from that starting point?
Like maybe like I'm in a situation that is inducing claustrophobia.
Sure, or maybe you got stuck in
self-made.
a trunk, or maybe you fell into a trunk that led you to an alternate reality, and a dark satyr named Mr. Thumbness, led you around and
Classic Mr. Thumb.
held you
Does that all the
captive
time.
for 40 years, making you their puppet king.
I think I've got one.
Yeah, what do you got?
So I like to imagine that this weird siren song they heard from this actors troupe that led to the Grim Tour of the theater. It's like the next, it's like whenever they came back, like they went back to that location and like there was nothing there. There was no sign. Nobody knew of any troupe that was coming through or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But they still have this playbill of like a play that does not exist.
Right.
That nobody's heard of or anything like that. And it's just like people are just like, whatever, you made that yourself. Or,
Yeah, you
This is
weirdo.
clearly your
Who
kid's
knows,
first
but,
play at their
nobody's ever heard
school.
nobody's ever heard of this play or anything like that, but he still
Pam
has
ever heard of that?
has that.
Mine is again. I got thrown over a ship, bound in trust. It is a
Definitely not by me or my crew
well.
or maybe.
We'll see.
It's actually a leftover. I still have the rope that was binding my hands together, and it has a lot of fur in it.
The last thing that he smelled as the air ran out and he got digested by a trunk. There was
You're just really sticking with this.
That's what it said.
an auntie's handkerchief that smells of lipstick and cedar
Oh, okay, yeah.
after being stored in the trunk, but of course having been used, smelling of lipstick and cedar. So yeah.
An empty coin purse from that time he got robbed by some highwaymen.
You have to remind
But
yourself.
you don't
You
keep
your
it. Now you
money.
have it's your decoy.
It's my decoy.
Please take this one.
Yeah.
I don't want this memento. For some reason,
Yeah.
they always take the one
Full of-
filled with coins.
Yeah, it has gems written on the outside with like 8 exclamation points.
I think in my memento is it's probably just like a it's a the ring, the
Children.
Signet ring.
the signet ring, but there's still a bone in it, like the knuckle bone. It's still like stuck in it, like a big thick old knuckle.
Like calcified or something.
Yeah. That's his memento.
Cool.
Yep. We're gonna roll our tragic flaw. Find out what our character's tragic flaw is. D100. Give it a roll. My tragic flaw is surprise, surprise, arrogance. This is literally my flaw. Arrogance is just something I'm really good at.
Or at least he thinks he is.
Great. Sarah, what'd you get?
3.
Apathy.
Okay.
Rich, what'd you get?
86.
Jealousy.
Yeah, no, that's sure.
Sure. Ian?
95.
95. Selfish. Colin, what'd you get?
83.
83. You're irresponsible.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about our inner strength.
Very
Alright,
lucky numbers.
so Colin,
Yes.
what'd you get?
77.
77.
I got a 77. High five.
Oh, you both got 77?
Yeah.
All right, integrity. Rich, what'd you get?
I got 21.
21. confidence.
Jealousy and confidence. What a great combination.
Oh boy!
Ian.
24. Or no, I'm sorry, 64.
Jealousy and confidence.
Forgiveness. Mine is dependability, which I love for arrogance. It's like I just keep I'm the best, and I've proved it so many times. And you're like, now we're gonna form a bond, and your bond gives you not only a bond with another character, but also gives you a special new ability. This is new to Zweihänder. Pick one other survivor. One of you rolls, and you have that bond together. But if there's an uneven amount of players, survivors can all share the same bond. All right, who is going to roll for us?
Done. I was just waiting for you to stop talking.
So is everyone else, my friend.
That was a 95.
Ooh,
Big number, big number, big number.
Twins stars, almost as one soul in two bodies.
Wait.
One soul in five bodies.
One soul in five bodies.
Two.
Quintuplets.
Quintuplets.
Alright, after we established the group bond, we then picked our characters' names, then we grabbed some general talents from our profession, we filled out our supplies and weapons and armor, and then Rich and I worked together to get his spell list compiled. He's chosen by the Chainbreaker. At the very end, we decided to read off our character sentence to one another, and we're going to share those with you. We will end this by having each one of us read our character sentence. I'll start off real quick. My name is Reggie, and I have spent most of my life as a valet. I am a middle-aged, non-binary human, and was raised in a cultured home of the commoner social class. When you see me, I am of a tall stature, with a stout build, and eyes that change color in the dark. My life changed the day that a guardian of a crypt marked me as their successor. Yet I live to tell the tale.
My name is Laurel, and I have spent most of my life as an antiquarian. I am an adult female Vargar, and was raised in an academic home of the commoner social class. When you see me, I am tall, of tall stature with an average build, and a noticeable limp from an old war wound. My life was changed the day I was pushed overboard, bound hand to foot. And yet I live to tell the tale.
My name is Smolong, and I have spent most of my life as a chosen. I am an adult Exarian, and I was raised in a reverent home of commoner social class. When you see me, I am of average stature and a frail build with a metal plate in my skull. My life changed the day I was eaten by a trunk. And I will find that trunk. Yet I live to tell the tale.
My name is Herbert the Incorrigible. I've spent most of my life as a jester. I'm an adult male tattletale and was raised in an opportunistic home of the low-born social class. When you see me, I am of an average stature with a frail build and unusually bright, shining eyes. My life changed the day that I was robbed by highwaymen. Yet I live to tell the tale.
My name is Unsinkable Sam, and I have spent most of my life as a sailor. I am a middle-aged male Ubasti who was raised in an industrious home of the low-born social class. When you see me, I am of an average stature with a stout build, or as some might call me, an absolute unit. And I have streaks of colored fur that draw people to touch it. But please don't. My life changed the day that a siren song from an acting troupe led me to a grim tour of their vicious theater. Yet I live to tell the tale.
Professor Snape.
You sound like constipated Professor Snape.
Yeah.
I started with more of a droopy dog in mind, but it did start becoming
But
Snape.
Alan Rickman couldn't be contained.
You know,
You can't stop the Alan
Yeah,
Rickman.
no.
sometimes these things just come out of you. You know, you have to let the character find its voice. And that's just where it started going.
And there you have it. That is how our group creates a character using the Zweihänder Reforged rules. If you're interested also in making your own Zweihänder characters, you should consider backing the Kickstarter. I've done a video about it right up here. I've also put the link to the Kickstarter in the thing below. I really hope you pledge to it because, heck, I'm one of the contributors on it, and that's just pretty exciting, but also, I think it's a good game. Either way, I want to thank you for being here with me to, hear us make characters. We thought it was a lot of fun, and I hope to see you all sometime soon. Bye.